What's up? I just did it. You're welcome.
Wow, this slide.
Okay, guys, it is Chi here.
I'm Cambrielle.
I'm Jaleese.
And I'm Taylor.
And we are
Destiny's
Child. Y'all so stupid. I didn't think y'all was gonna do it. Y'all real, okay. But seriously, today, as you guys can tell from the title, we will be giving our thoughts and opinions on the popular Netflix documentary When They See Us, directed by
Ava DuVernay.
yeah, because I can't really pronounce her last name.
How did we all become interested in When They See Us in the first place?
Yeah.
Whoever wants to go first.
Okay, I'll go first. So I've watched like a couple different like made for TV miniseries documentaries this year, and I've kind of got into the habit of watching like the real documentary first, or like the news specials and reports about what happened versus what the media gives us as, you know, the miniseries. So when I heard about When They See Us, I was like, cool, that's something I know they made into a documentary a couple years ago. And after the documentary, I was like, okay, yeah, I really got to see this now.
Yeah.
I know I became interested in the documentary through social media. I remember one night, I think it came out on a Thursday, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe it was probably Friday or Saturday when I was on Facebook. And everyone was like making posts about it. They were like, when they see us, when they see us. They just kept talking about it. And they were just suggesting that everyone goes and watch it. So I watched it, and here I am today.
I mean, mine is a combination of both. So between hearing about the Central Park 5 and then getting on social media and seeing everybody talk about it, it's like, hey, gotta watch this Netflix.
Yeah. I was actually leaving church, and my friend was like, have y'all heard of When They See Us? It's gonna make you so angry. And I was like, is that something I really want to watch? And so they were just like, you should. So I went home that day and watched the first episode, and yep, I was like, wow, this is something.
Yeah.
So when y'all watched it, like what emotions, what feelings, what reactions did you have?
Anger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I cried with the documentary. So I got that out the way. And then to see it played out, I was just like, I was angry because this is real life. You know you have movies and TV shows that are based off of real things, but this was a real thing. And it wasn't that long ago.
No, it wasn't.
I know I was 1 when this happened.
Yeah.
It's not that long ago.
I was angry, of course, and I was angry at what happened, and I was angry at the fact that I was not taught this in school. I get kind of upset when like I learn about my history and then I realize like they never put this in a textbook in school. I was born in '94, so this happened before I was born, but not too much before I was born. But still, I still was just upset that they failed to teach us this, but they would teach us that Christopher Columbus came over here and formed this great country that we have. So that was my emotions. I was angry, and of course I was sad, especially the last episode.
I think the first episode really made me angry, especially like seeing how they made those kids go without food, water, and they like led them to believe that no, we did this and you guys did not do any of this. And you know, they didn't have any of their parents present, didn't have lawyers present, anything. So it's like we're gonna coach these kids to believing that they actually did do this, and then we're gonna have them write a statement, they're gonna sign it, and that's our evidence.
Yeah.
So I was more angry than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the exact same thing. just the way it was handled was so terrible. And the fact that they still allowed it to go through the court system in that unjust, very illegal way, and that was never checked. And then I think by the last episode, I was still angry and hurt by the fact that, like, yes, they were paid, but the people who did it were not punished in any way. And to think that you could punish these kids for something that they didn't do, but we will not punish the people who enact the injustice for what they actually did. So yeah, definitely anger. I can't think of another emotion at all but anger and hurt. Just hurt for how they did.
I was baffled. Because, I mean, I'm looking at it like, okay, if these were white kids, they would have at least been given the benefit of the doubt. Like, I'm gonna wait for your parents to come. I'm gonna let your parents get a lawyer involved, and they would have been given the benefit of the doubt, regardless of what they were doing. And I'm like, that was then, and that's still the case today.
Yes.
Black children, black people are not given the benefit of the doubt. And I'm like, why is this still going on?
Yes. Let's talk about like the first episode. And I'll just read the little description up here. We're looking at the Netflix screenshot. It says, Part 1, in the spring of 1989, 5 boys of color are arrested, interrogated, and coerced into confessing to the vicious attack of a woman in Central Park. So, I guess I kind of want to ask just like some questions about the first episode, y'all. How do y'all feel? Okay, I think in the first episode we saw that Antron, his dad told him to just admit to the crime. And I know, like, when I saw that part, and I believe you told me to watch the Oprah interview. Was that you? And that wasn't you. Somebody told me to watch it, and they were saying that Antron was still angry at his father. But from that first episode and seeing how his father handled that, I can honestly say why I would still feel the same way as Antron does against his dad. To me, it made me feel like you were less of a man to not, stand up to these people for your son, and then your son looks up to you. A son is going to look up to their father and think, okay, if my dad says it, then it has to be true, or it has to be right. So I just feel like he was just like less of a man, y'all. What do y'all think about that?
I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Go ahead. I wanted somebody to.
I mean, that was the culture of the times. Like, of that time, his dad probably was raised where, okay, you just do what you're told. Even if you didn't do it, you're black, you're a man, you just do whatever you have to do to come back home.
But he did that because his job was threatened. He was standing his ground until that guy took him outside, and at least in the the drama, that's how it happened. And he told him, "Hey, I know where you work, and it would be a detrimental if something happened." And so he came back in with a different attitude. So he started off standing his ground, but I think maybe for him, because of the times, and even still now, I think black men are very much pressuring themselves to be the provider for their families, that he wanted to make sure that he could provide for his family, and he really thought that they would let him go home. I can see why as a child you would still be angry at your father, because that's who you expect to lead you out of that. But I can also see why the father, thinking that I have to provide for my family, would do this, thinking just what they told him, that would be true. You will let my son come home, and we will beat this, because he didn't do it. I mean, I do think
he left the family.
Yes, that's it.
So he didn't even reply.
Because he was ashamed.
You think that's why he left? Because he was ashamed?
Yeah, I mean, he had too much pride to say, I messed up. For a lot of people, and especially, I feel like, especially black men, it's real to be like, I'm sorry, I messed up. I am to blame.
I honestly don't think, just from how we're looking at it now, I think in the midst of it that they probably thought, this is not going to go over. They haven't done this. There's no DNA. There's no way to prove these boys guilty, so this cannot go over. So to see it play all the way out and them go to jail is probably just as appalling to the families that were involved, because it's like you have nothing, no evidence whatsoever you know, now we kind of like, if you don't have any evidence, you might as well not even start it. But for that case, I don't think anybody saw it going that way because it shouldn't have gone that way. So, I mean, I can see it from both sides, but.
And at the time, I'm thinking that they didn't know to say, we don't want to talk anymore.
Yeah.
We're not talking anymore until we get a lawyer. That's it. And so I think that would have changed a lot of things if they had known their rights at the time.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
no one knew their rights.
That's
and
true. That's a good point.
it was just a mess from the time how they were on the street like, hey, come here, you look like
The thug. Didn't she say gather the thugs or something like that?
Yeah.
Hit every thug
Yeah.
in the street.
And again, how do you do that? Central Park is gigantic. How do you go around in a highly populated area like New York City and gather just
random.
just random. Oh, that's a young black boy. I'm gonna gather him. He could have been in the park last night. Okay.
I don't know, y'all. I
It
really
doesn't make
don't.
sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
My father grew up in the 60s and 70s, and they were taught if you get picked up by the police, but this is during times where, you know, sit-ins and marches and all that kind of stuff is going on, there's a protocol. And I feel like between the 70s to like late 70s to early 90s, they kind of just, you know, got comfortable because we're starting to see some change. So surely, like you said, I'm gonna do what the police say because we didn't do it. So it's not gonna play out the way we're thinking it's gonna play out.
But to even say, okay, I did it just so I can go home, you think like they still was thinking, well, I understand the boys because they were younger.
Yeah.
So I don't think
And they were being
knew.
attacked,
Yeah.
starved. They did that on purpose. They got into their mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.